Welcome back into the studio, Hidden Nation. You got Josh Cary, your hidden entrepreneur, right here coming to you from 710 WOR, the voice of New York. And anytime you want, all you got to do is download that free iHeart Radio app, scroll, search this show. You can watch and re-listen to any episode you want or any episode in the vast iHeart catalog. Check it out. Hidden Nation, you are going to want to roll up your sleeves and sit tight for this one because we are going to pack this one in. I'm joined by the incredible Michael Dow, who we have so much good to get here. Get this, he is an author of dozens of books, including the entire Nurse Florence series and the upcoming Nurse Dorothea series. Now, you know I'm an extremely proud father. My 10-year-old daughter, my 8-year-old son are everything in my life. What Michael does is he writes all of these books in the Nurse Florence and Nurse Dorothea series to help with medical education for children 7 to 12 years old, and also probably just as, if not more important, the mental health aspect. Shouldn't we be teaching our kids as early as possible? But that's not it. He's also a registered nurse today at an inpatient psychiatric facility in Arizona. And finally, because of 9/11, which I know we all have our own stories and emotional connections and attachments to that event, but for him, because of 9/11, he spent years serving our country in the Air Force, deployed 6 times to Iraq because he knew he wanted to do something. So that is what this conversation is about. I can't wait to get right into it with our guest. Welcome to the program, Michael.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for having me.
So I want to start because, like I said, I am all about mental health, mental well-being for my own kids. So I would welcome anything you have to help educate my children properly. Before we back into that, I want to hear about the 9/11 because that really changed the whole course of everything. What happened? What were you thinking and feeling that sent you on this path?
I was enrolled, getting my second bachelor's degree, taking my prerequisites for medical school, and had actually taken the MCAT. And then 9/11 happened, and I was so angry. I was just, really full of rage towards these terrorists. So I, looked within myself and I thought, well, maybe I got to use my anger
Wow.
in a different way, to serve my country. Well, the military is the option to, use that rage. So I started that process to apply for the Air Force and started the Air Force in July of 2002. Basically spent the next 2.5 years in training. I was an electronic warfare officer on the EC-130 Compass Call and ended up deploying 6 times to Iraq.
Well,
So
thank you for your service.
thanks.
Why did you feel that this was the right move?
Um, I'm very patriotic, and I felt like it was the right thing to do to stand up to support our country to serve the military. Even though I was somewhat of a pacifist, I totally changed career paths in every way to do this. But I just felt like it was the right thing.
And looking back, how do you look at that
Well,
part of your life now?
it was a very difficult 10 years for me in many different ways. Deploying 100 days a year, was very stressful on a young family and stuff like that. But looking back, got to be around some great leaders and got to start using some leadership skills that's helping me out today with the Nurse Florence series. With over 40 illustrators. Coordinating that effort. So looking back, it was a great learning experience, and I'm very grateful for the chance I had to serve the country.
And then how did the your career as a registered nurse first come about?
Well, my GI Bill was about to expire, and like I already mentioned, I was thinking about medicine for a while, and actually, when I was in the Air Force, towards the end of that 8 year service, I had bought a current human physiology textbook and read it because I was like, maybe I need to get back into medicine since I'm still thinking about it like this. So I applied to the University of Arizona, their master's accelerated program of 15 months, and graduated in August of 2020 and passed the NCLEX. And here I am as a registered nurse at an inpatient psychiatric hospital. It's been a great experience.
I mean, wow, wow. And now the Nurse Florence book series, you have over 50 current books. Your goal is 500 books on various topics. I know that this is in the medical space. Give us a few of the sample titles that helps kids with.
Well, we're doing general science questions like Nurse Florence, how do we hear things? Nurse Florence, how do we see things? So it's just presents the basic physiology of how the body works so that parents like yourself can read these books with their kids and the basic questions get answered and stuff. But we're also doing diseases we won a national award for juvenile nonfiction
Wow.
for Nurse Florence, what is a heart attack? So if like granddad gets a heart attack, you would get the book and read it with your kids so that everybody would know what the doctors and nurses did in the hospital,
Wow.
what the signs and symptoms of a heart attack is, what the treatment options are. But really what's most important in these disease books that we're doing is that we end every book with prevention strategies so that like kids early on they know what to do or what not to do to prevent from getting these preventable diseases in the future. So we're really excited about this project.
I would imagine so. I can tell my son would eat this up. So I'm extremely excited to have him get his hands on this. Tell me about the Nurse Dorothea. I know you're currently running a Kickstarter campaign. We'll link all around to that so Hidden Nation can go and check it out and support that. This is focusing on the mental health aspect and well-being. Give us an overview of what we can expect.
Well, someone asked me, what would I do if my kids presented with some kind of mental health problem, and actually, my 10-year-old daughter is already telling me and my wife about her anxiety, which the gun crisis that we have in our nation right now. She says she not every day, but she regularly worries when she's at school. Oh no, is someone going to come and shoot us up? Because they have to do active shooter
It's
drills.
true.
So they have to actually think about that. So like you and I, Josh, we don't know what these kids are experiencing, but these kids growing up now, they're actually having to worry that someone might actually come in their school and kill them. Just like Nurse Florence, I did this series to really help my kids, and it's just a bonus if it helps other kids. Um, so book number one is about mental well-being, what that looks like and how to maintain that. So again, I'm doing this series for my kids, and I really hope it helps other families too. But we're gonna do the first one on mental well-being. We're gonna do one on depression, one on anxiety, one on bipolar disorder, one on schizophrenia, all the mental health topics that are out there, so that like the mental health illnesses, if you have a say a cousin or an uncle
Mm.
or even a grandparent with one of these illnesses, then everybody can get educated on what your relative is going through so that people can be more compassionate and understanding of what they're dealing with.
You feel like that these are topics that are really only starting to be spoken about to the children's generation. Am I mistaken? I wasn't
Yeah.
spoken about this growing up, right?
Yeah, I mean that's why on the Kickstarter campaign, it says, like a groundbreaking mental health series. So this is the first of its kind to really bring down mental health education down to an elementary level, that so we're not going to shy away from the seriousness of it. We're going to use correct medical terms, but we're going to present it in a simple way and empower kids, like this is what you can do to have good mental well-being. This is, because stress can induce sometimes these mental illnesses. So
Hmm.
if we can teach kids healthy coping skills when they're young, then maybe they won't turn to illegal drugs, which, at least at my hospital, sometimes the illegal drugs will trigger the mental illness,
Yeah.
like hallucinations and things like that. So we're just wanting to teach kids healthy coping skills at an early age, so that we just help grow up a new generation that is very mentally well.
Can you give me an example of, let's say, the something accessible that we can discuss here?
Yeah.
Maybe the anxiety one. Um, how is what language is used? What could I do? What does the book suggest? What are some tangibles that I can walk away with?
Well, like I mean, I would think most people have heard these things, but like with anxiety and depression, some things that you can do right away is mindfulness, mindful meditation.
With the children.
There's we teach mindfulness to the teenagers in our adolescent unit, every week at
How
the
so?
um
What's the
well
strategy?
well, mindfulness is where you're aware of your senses. So say we have a teenager that's having a meltdown. We'll you just use that word, a meltdown at the
Hmm.
hospital. We'll redirect them, like, okay, tell me what you see in this room that is blue right now. Tell me what you smell right now. Is there any flavor in your mouth right now? Here's a peppermint. Tell me how this tastes. Tell me what you're hearing right now. So we're redirecting them to their senses to ground them back in reality, instead of getting them out of what they're worried about, maybe where they're going to go after they get discharged, and maybe that's what's causing the meltdown, or they're thinking about their past trauma, because we do have a lot of teenagers that have a lot of past trauma. Um, redirecting people to their senses, and how fast their heart is beating, everything about their awareness right now. So that's one thing about mindfulness. But John Kabat-Zinn, who did a great NPR interview, people could look that up on the internet and get some good education through him. But and then another one is deep breathing. So even the Navy SEALs use deep breathing before they do their missions, and it's cycles of four. So you breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, breathe out your mouth for 4 seconds, and hold that for 4 seconds, and then you just start the cycle again. So deep breathing can also help with anxiety and depression.
And you've already won awards. How does that feel?
Well, it just, to me, it's confirmation that me and my illustrators are, producing high quality material. I think it's cool. I'm not like chasing awards just to say I have awards. But I feel that the awards are providing external confirmation that, the quality that we're producing. And my illustrators, they're putting in, I mean, a ton of hours in their illustrations to make them, great for every book. So, and all the research I do, for the text, to keep it scientifically accurate and stuff like that. So we're producing great stuff, and we just feel like the awards is just confirmation.
That's amazing. So the Nurse Florence series available on Amazon.
It
and you can
is.
scroll and get any number of the books in the series. Like you said, currently over 50, working towards 500 in this series. That's absolutely significant. And then the Kickstarter campaign for the Nurse Dorothea, which is on the mental health and well-being side. Like I said, we'll link to the Kickstarter campaign. Uh, this is obviously your life's mission. Is that what you're feeling? This is what you're dedicating your life to, third career in.
Well, there is a little bit more. Basically, a children's book author. I have actually about 20 other book series in my mind, but we gotta get these launched and taken out for me to be a full-time author. But I'm loving writing kids books. My kids are really enjoying it. We're getting feedback on Goodreads.com of parents and families. Disney, they have that secret. They've discovered the secret how they can make their movies entertaining for the parents too, right?
So
So
true.
I apparently we have found the secret to keep parents engaged and entertained with the books, because we've gotten a lot of feedback that the parents are saying they're learning some new things with each book, just with the kids. So
Wow.
we're improving the health literacy level, where the goal is for the nation, not just of the young kids, but everybody's gonna improve their health literacy level.
What an incredible soul and person you are, Michael. Thank you for truly dedicating your life to this very, very important cause.
Thank you, sir.
Can't wait to follow the journey and have you back anytime you are ready. Thank you, Hidden Nation, for tuning in. I really hope you get involved. The Nurse Florence series available now. The Nurse Dorothea series available on Kickstarter, soon to be released. This is important. You know that. Just as important as your mental health is, it's empowering and equipping the next generation with their confidence and education as well. So thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you spending your time today. Hope it was valuable. We're going to do it again before too long. Until we do, take care. Be well.